Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's NASCAR 07 live stream. Of course, the NASCAR Cup Series got rained out. They were supposed to race at Dover today. We were supposed to have a live commentary stream. And because it got postponed before our originally scheduled start time for that stream, which was going to be at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, I figured just a little bit after that, let's get a NASCAR 07 race in. We're not going streamless today. We've got all day. And I don't work or anything today, so no excuse for me not to stream. Nothing really going on. Let's get this race underway. It is a shorter race, obviously, because it is a truck race. It is the GM Flex Fuel 250 at Daytona. This is the second Daytona race on the schedule, the final one as well. Now, we finished 32nd at Daytona out of the 36 trucks in the first race. Although my pit strategy wasn't the greatest, I thought it was going to be a two-stop race. Ended up being a one-stopper, so when we had an early caution about 30 laps in or whatever, I ended up actually hitting pit road, not thinking that we could actually make it to about lap 50, or that most of the field was going to make it to lap 50. So we were kind of put back in traffic. Before that, I think I got up to about 13th through the field. We will be starting at last today. No practice and no qualifying. So, yeah, this is going to be tough. This is going to be really tough. I've also never won at Daytona. I'll throw that out there. I've not won at Daytona in the Truck Series. I have won there in the Cup Series for the Daytona 500 once, and it was on this game. And I've won one Busch Series race there, which was on NASCAR 05, I think. I won a season opener in a season we raced as Dale Jr. Oh, no, it was NASCAR 06. Yeah, that's right, because it was the Do It For Dale season where I got the win at Daytona on the last lap pass. We had a green-white checker with one lap left in that race, so got the win there. Now, as far as this race goes, though, here today, we are definitely going to have our work cut out for us. We come in with just a 31-point lead over Ron Hornaday. We're tied for the most wins this season with not Marvin Cheth. Marvin Cheth does have one win. Hans Good, fantasy driver. He's 6th in points right now, but he was like 15th in points maybe 5 races ago. He's won 3 of the last 5 races. He's on a hot streak right now, so there is a chance with the speed of Super Speedway that he could go to victory lane again today, and we'll see if he'll do that. The last Super Speedway race was at Talladega on the season. Timothy Peters won that one. We finished 4th, led 13 laps, but I do believe I qualified in that race as well, and this one I'm not. So Daytona's my kryptonite, as you guys know, with these EA Sports games. Hopefully we can overcome a big, big hurdle today. Let's get the race underway. Philip Moore, Derek Booth, Wade Selinsky, Ice Demon King, 92 Hammer, and others. Welcome to the stream. Green flag is in the air. Bill Lester's on the pole, and we are racing on a Sunday afternoon on NASCAR 07 Daytona style. Tom Bodine, we know his get up to speed not going to be great. He's in a dire situation right now to try to stay with the pack, which is just likely not going to happen. Although he's got a big run off turn 2. There might have been a bit of a stack up there. And Tom Bodine's showing some good speed here on the get up to speed lap. So we don't usually see this on the super speedways out of Tom Bodine this season of getting up to speed well, but he's going to get up to speed pretty well here. And he's got some drivers he's able to hang on in the draft with. And he has passed one of them, which is going to be big. Oh, a little crowding. Off of turn 4 on the opening lap. More crowding going on into the trial. Well, he's trying to clear the 110. If he gets somebody behind him as well as somebody in front of him, that is where he can capitalize. Marvin Cheth leads the opening lap of the race in the 192 truck. He actually won one of the first couple races of the season. Ron Hornaday won the season opener at Daytona as his only win of the season, as he comes in 2nd in points, so he led in the standings for a while. Big stack up on the backstretch. There was a near wreck. Todd Bodine's going to pick up a bunch more spots as a result as he moves to 27th. And we stay green. Don't know if he's close enough to draft off the 190. He was very, very close. Not quite going to get there. And we'll take our first field pass of the race today, and we will drive as Ted Musgrave in the number 9. He's not that far behind Todd Bodine right now. Musgrave working with the 107. Tried to, at least. Bobby Hamilton Sr. to the lead in the 18 truck. Couple of lead changes at the front of the field already. Mike George, Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Yep, Dover, noon tomorrow. For anybody wondering. Yes, I will be doing live commentary tomorrow. I don't work on Monday, so I'm able to get you guys the live commentary. Todd Bodine just got passed up there. These two Germain Sport trucks can actually, Germain Racing trucks, I should say, can race with each other. That could be big. I think the 153 led that last lap. I don't think Bobby Hamilton led that lap. Now, he's in the top 5 in points. Is that Thomas also? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I saw, actually, I was gathering my notes for today's race this morning when I saw NASCAR's website that they postponed it. That's how I first found out about it. I was like, oh, they postponed the race already. I'm like, I guess I'm not streaming at 12:30. Because I was planning on going live even if it was going to be on a rain delay just to get the pre-race out of the way. But we'll be going live about 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes for the drop of the green flag tomorrow. And the reason being is so that way we can get the pre-race predictions in. Means we could not do that today. Bodine tried to keep up with the 107 truck. 107 up on the outside. It's not going to make it easy here for Todd Bodine. Bobby Hamilton back to the lead, though, at the front of the field. Todd Bodine going to give a bump draft to the 107 down the backstretch. It's going to be tough to run this outside at this bumpy Daytona surface. And when they catch this lead pack up here, you have to make sure that you're not going to be in a situation where you could potentially lose the draft. Big push getting into the corner, but all that did was get the 30 truck tight. Is Todd Bodine going to be able to stay in it? That was costly. Very, very costly. But I think Todd Bodine will be able to stay there. The 107 moved down to the middle. He's not running the top near the wall anymore, so that can help Todd Bodine try to stay with him. It was very, very close to being in danger of losing this lead pack. Well, not really the lead pack, but the 107 who's trying to run down the lead pack with Todd Bodine. Just can't bump draft going into the corner like that. Bump drafting him. Getting in. Bodine made sure he lifted that time to keep it off the wall, but you could see just how close he was to getting there. Gets so close here at this bumpy Daytona surface, it just sucks you up. The racetrack. There's a run. Down the backstretch for Todd Bodine, pulling out a line of the 107. Going to try to get a truck in line behind him. Eric Darnell in the 99 now in front of him. And that was a perfect pass here for Todd Bodine as he tries to work himself through the field after starting last tonight at Daytona. Into the tri-oval. I would have thought Todd Bodine was close enough to keep up with the 99 of Eric Darnell. And he was. Pulled away from just a little bit. Now the 117 going to crowd and try to block Todd Bodine, and he does successfully off turn 2. Big run on the inside. Bodine looking to make some more passes. 3 wide into turn 3. Gets by a few trucks. Almost makes contact with Eric Darnell. Not going to be able to clear him. Darnell looking for a run on the top. And Todd Bodine's going to really want to try to fall in line behind him. And does. Had to force his way in there, but he was able to get to the outside. Marvin Shett and Bobby Hamilton continue to go back and forth for the lead at the front of the field. Wait for Ron Hornaday to get up in contention just because he did win the first race at Daytona earlier this season. Another pass made there for Todd Bodine. Quickly pulls to the bottom. Get a draft off the 137. Todd finished 4th at Daytona, so we know he can have a good finish. Or, sorry, at Talladega. We know he can have a good finish on a super speedway. It's just Daytona's my personal kryptonite on these EA Sports games, especially in the Truck Series. It's the only series I haven't won at Daytona in yet. After countless races. So 137 continues to block, and Todd Bodine's going to just continue to bump draft him. As they go towards turn 1. Hans Good stuck in the middle of the pack right now as well. Got to really manage the gas and make sure you don't make contact in the center of the corner. It's very treacherous though, because it's very easy for these trucks to build up quite a bit of space between one another as well. Run into the tri-oval, down onto the yellow line with the left side tires to squeeze to the inside of the 137. Trying to side draft him as they enter the corner. They're slowing each other up running side by side like this, and they may be 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. Bodine in the middle. He just can't clear the 137. Now he clears him, but the pack up ahead pulled a little bit too far away too quickly. 3 wide out of the rear view of Todd Bodine as he runs in 20th into turn 3. He's going to give up the bottom here off turn 4, allow for a truck to get underneath him. It's the 123. And a big block made there on Hans Good. A risky one, but Bodine had to get in line quickly before he lost too many positions. As the lead pack was starting to get away. I am not good at running the top here. I thought I was going into the wall. I didn't lift that time either. He's committed to just trying to hold that line. It worked. And now he's got another run on the backstretch. Another dive. Quickly gets by the 123. They're 3 wide in front of Todd Bodine getting into the corner here. Freeing up the bottom to get to the inside of the 101, who got cleared by both trucks underneath him. Barely pulling clear of the 101 for 19th. I will say 12 laps, honestly, to go from last to 19th is pretty good. Bodine to the inside of David Reagan. He's on the outside behind the 98 truck of Aaron Crocker. Crocker kind of losing the 126 just a little bit. Bodine had to go back down to try to protect the bottom. Hans Good's got a big run in that middle lane before pulling up to the outside. Crocker pulls to the bottom. That's what Todd Bodine needed to try to clear David Reagan into 6. It worked. Now Reagan behind the 30. Bodine with a push to Crocker. The big thing is here is timing these passes out as perfect as we can, and so far Todd Bodine's been pretty good at doing it. Really pulled Crocker through turns 3 and 4 there, but he's going to get to the inside of Craig Kinzer, get by him. He's going to push the 126 as they get by Scott Lagasse Jr. now, getting into turn 1 again. Into that middle lane goes the 126, now back to the bottom. Craig Kinzer went to the inside to get by Lagasse as well. I'm mashing hard on the gas, like hard enough that my thumb is cramping right now. It is a treacherous situation. Corey Freight, thanks for tuning in as well. Bodine had a run. He didn't want to potentially clip the 126 there, so he had to take the outside initially getting into the corner before diving back in line. He had enough room behind him from where Craig Kinzer was at. Marvin Sheth continues to lead. I believe he's led the most laps here through the first 15 completed. And we know this is only a one pit stop race today, so it's going to be very difficult to try to leapfrog traffic as well. Another push getting into turns 1 and 2 there. That was more into the corner too when Bodine actually bump drafted the 126 in front of him. That's a big run for Todd Bodine. Passes 2 trucks getting into turn 3. If he could just keep the truck clean, it is going to be fast. Already as high as what he was in the first Daytona race of the season. A big bump draft to the truck in front of him in the center of the tri-oval. That got that truck quite a bit loose. 136. Todd Bodine going to stay with him. On the outside. I'm trying to look at the chat as much as I can. I'm sorry, guys. Really trying to not make a mistake here. Really trying to stay focused. That is tight getting into turn 3. Bodine clipping the apron getting into the corner. Washed up the hill. Cleared one of the trucks he was 3 wide with. And there's contact up into the wall. We'll swap back to Ted Musgrave real quick. We'll just get that second and final field pass over with as Musgrave rides in 29th. First time Bodine made somewhat significant contact with the race truck. That's what happens when you're pushing hard, just trying to stay in line behind another truck. You make those mental errors from time to time. Used to say Taco Dine with Todd Bodine. Oof. That was me not paying attention there. Poor Ted Musgrave not having as good of a run as Todd Bodine. More than lost that lead pack. And that wall scrape in the middle of 3 and 4 didn't help him either. The 3 wide was the back of that next pack in front of him. Side by side, the 110. Another spot lost. Musgrave now back to 31st. This doesn't seem to be as quick as Todd Bodine really on the season. I mean, Musgrave is quite a bit further back at points than Bodine, who's leading the standings. Musgrave not even in the top 10 with this 2-truck organization. So they have lost quite a few of the trucks in front. Bodine going to slide in line. Right behind the 108. 13th still. They're in 13th, but they're so far behind everybody else. It's going to be tough to try to leapfrog. And that was tight getting off of turn 4 as Bodine stuck on the outside. Oh boy, that is an aggressive side draft, but it might pan out. And it does as Bodine pulls clear. He gets back to the inside, though, of the next truck. He doesn't want to run the top. Does not want to do it. Contact with the trucks further back. That'll clear up a little bit of room for Todd Bodine. Craig Kinzer and whoever that other fantasy truck was, the 136 was it? Got together. 20 laps in already. I don't know what it's going to take for this guy to run the bottom. They're not going to gain time up on the top. Got a slow truck, by the way, in the backstretch. Quick bump draft and then getting into the corner. Bodine pulls to the bottom. Again, though, he is not going to make a pass. And that's the pull right back to the top. I'm not trying to pass him. He's just running. I have such a big run. Because we were bump drafting him on the front stretch there. And then he stays to the outside. Now he pulls to the bottom. So that's what Ty Bodine was wanting him to do for a couple laps. 108 finally moves to the inside lane. Losing precious time to the leaders, though. Caution free so far. I believe we had 3 cautions in the season opener at Daytona. We had 5 at Talladega, including a few of them late in the race. Got to bank on this thing potentially going caution free, just because you never know. The big push needed for those trucks. The truck really moves around a lot in the middle of the corner. It's free. It's on the free side, but we're able to hang on to it. 5.1 seconds off the lead right now. Slower truck down on the apron. Oh, that caused a stack up. And it's Ted Musgrave of all drivers. Bodine getting loose, making contact. Oh, he's going to lose. I think he's going to lose these guys. Oh, that was terrible. Ted Musgrave just costed his teammate a lot of time there. Wasn't expecting the 108 to check up that soon, honestly. They had time that they could have picked up. Hans Good, I believe, is the truck. It's a blue truck of some sort that's catching Bodine. He's going to have to draft with that truck, and it is Hans Good. So the 2 drivers with 3 wins this season are going to have to work together here. I will say that it is not impossible. Sad part is Bodine's got to get right back into it. Hans Good cleared him. But he cleared him so quickly that I don't think Ty Bodine's going to be able to catch him. Doesn't have any help behind him because the 126 rather, tried to pull to the inside 3 wide. That didn't really work out either. Here's the 126. Got losing a couple spots. Trying to work with anybody here. Musgrave, the only truck a lap down. 126 going to the top. Ty Bodine has to go there to try to draft with him, but in the process of doing so, his partner behind him left him. Trying to make a pass instead, and as they run side by side, it's going to slow each other down, and the chances of Bodine trying to keep up with the 126 is becoming slimmer and slimmer. The side draft is very effective in this game, I've noticed. Almost too effective on the super speedways. A little love tap into the wall didn't help either. Yeah, it's supposed to be like low 60s and sunny at Dover tomorrow, so they'll definitely end up racing tomorrow. No weather threat. So far, on the NASCAR EA games, we are 0 for 7 at Daytona in the Truck Series. It took 7 Daytona 500s to finally win one on the EA Sports side of things with NASCAR 07. So will it take 7 tries to finally win a truck race at Daytona as well? It It's not impossible. Actually, we're 0 for 7. It was our 7th attempt where we won the 500. I should say this is technically our 8th attempt because we've ran 7 truck races at Daytona. 3 in NASCAR 05, 3 in NASCAR 06, and then 1 in NASCAR 07. So this is our 8th attempt to try to win a truck race at Daytona on an EA Sports game. And Todd Bodine, oh, that's not going to help either. Yeah, I mean, we were doing good, and then once we hit the wall that one time, we just can't keep up with another truck in front of us. I think it did knock a little bit of speed out of the truck, because it was looking pretty sporty very early. Greg Kinzer in the 47 gets by. Bodine able to keep up with him. 7.7 seconds off the race lead. I think Musgrave may have slowed a couple of trucks up off of turn 2. That's going to give Todd Bodine a big run down to the bottom. The 126 goes down to block. Big run for Todd Bodine coming up on the outside. Ran out of real estate. He got boxed in. Couple trucks protecting the bottom. Bodine trying to stay in the gas to keep the momentum up, which he was able to do. Couldn't clear anybody. Want to get up there with Hans Good. He's got to have a fast truck. I mean, he qualified pretty far back in the field. And obviously he's won 3 of the last 5 races. Those 2 trucks up in front of Bodine pulling away from him, though. They tandemed together just for about a half a lap, and it was enough to allow him to clear. Bodine lifting a little bit before forcing himself in line. He almost turned himself. That's going to cut more momentum off as the 126 is now down below the racetrack. He slides up, almost clears out a couple trucks in traffic, and Bodine's going to lose even more time. Unbelievable. Ay, ay, ay. Things were going so good for about 20 laps, and the last 10 laps or so, not as good for Todd Bodine, I will say. Craig Kinzer was a guy he was able to keep up with. He'll look to try to do the same here. Almost made contact with another truck, though. And I think Kinzer is going to pull clear and stay clear. Yeah, he's going to the bottom. I mean, he's not all the way in the bottom yet. This is tough. Tough scenes. We're going to need a caution. We have to be within probably like 5 or 6 seconds of the lead to go fuel only and actually cycle to the front. And I mean, right now, it's just not looking likely. I mean, we're 10.3 back, and we just can't keep up with these trucks in a smaller pack. When we were in a bigger pack, I was able to keep up perfectly fine, but the smaller packs, that's where we're really showing that we just don't have great single truck speed. Goes David Reagan to the bottom. Todd Bodine lifting a little bit on the backstretch. He really wants to get in line. The push is just not there. Can't get the push needed on the outside from the 126. Crocker's clear. Bodine's back to 20th now. This is very concerning. Very, very concerning. Musgrave 2 laps down. About to be a 3rd lap down here shortly. .126 to the outside. Bodine going to try to side draft him a little bit. He needed to so he could slow his momentum down by the time he made the pass. There's a bigger pack coming up behind Todd Bodine. He's not going to keep up with the 126. We're just free falling. I mean, I can't just stay in front of these guys because we're going to go backwards either way, really. Sure, I could probably still be in 13th, 14th if I tried to do that, but we'd still be losing interval time to the leader. Little loose off turn 2 there, and there is contact. The 101 truck as a result. I see Ted Musgrave down on the bottom. I have to stay in front of these guys now because there might be a checkup. Oh my gosh, I wasn't trying to move all the way up like that either. Gosh, that's terrible. I can't catch a break right now. We didn't catch Musgrave in the middle of the corner. We caught him on the middle of the front stretch. Oh boy. Tough seats at Daytona. It doesn't help that the truck is getting more free and more free and more free as this race progresses also. Which is not good in the sight of potentially trying to go fuel only. That is not the way we're going to be able to get it done. Even if we draw the win out of conclusion, trying to end our streak, we need a good finish. We have no clue where Hornaday's at. We haven't caught him. I'm assuming he's in the top 10 because we've ran as high as 12th and have not seen Hornaday at all in this race. Which tells me he qualified up front and he's staying up front. Now, he hasn't led any laps either, so no bonus points for both Todd Bodine and Ron Hornaday right now. 10 races to go on the season championship after this one. Bodine bump trapped in the 101 truck all the way down the backstretch before getting into turns 3 and 4. They're catching the next 2 trucks up ahead of him. Bodine trying to keep that momentum up. Side by side with the 126 and the 98. Bodine pulling to the bottom. Draft up in line behind this 126. Well, works to get 2 spots back. 126 then moves to the top once he finally cleared Crocker. Todd Bodine running with him. The 101 truck's going to get to the inside of the 30. He had a big run. Maybe not. I think he was side drafting the 98 maybe a little too much there. Bodine again with the push to the back of the 126 now. Still pushing them as they launch themselves into 3 and 4. It was risky, but he kept it off the wall. Just trying to keep that wheel steady. Had a decent run off turn 4. Pulls to the bottom. Big block, by the way, by David Reagan on Scott Lagasse. To the top goes Bodine to try to get by the 04, and he did it perfectly. Side drafted his way by the 04 truck of Scott Lagasse Jr. Now he's right in line behind David Reagan. Lagasse looking low. On the inside of Todd Bodine. Bodine trying not to get too loose off turn 2. Got a little loose. Wasn't completely terrible. Bodine with a run to the inside of David Reagan. He got into him and up into the wall. They both go. Reagan not happy about that. I think he bounced off Lagasse off turn 4. Bodine had a run, sent it into the corner. Truck is freeing up a ton right now and just couldn't hold that huge momentum surge he had at the end of the backstretch. Reagan is really upset here with Todd Bodine. And that was a big block that he's probably not going to be too happy about either. I don't want David Reagan to get alongside of me because I think he's going to try to wreck us. I need somebody else to pass us. Right front really giving out. 39 laps into the run. Yep, there it is. I expected that to happen, and it did. That's exactly why I didn't want him underneath us. It didn't wreck us, but it did create a little bit more damage. To a truck that is already getting loose. Talladega is the season finale in the truck series on this custom schedule season, so we do have one more super speedway race left. This is just going to be a gutted out kind of a day, a survive and advance day for Todd Bodine going into the final 10 races of the season, hoping that he potentially has the points lead. If he doesn't have the points lead anymore, the hope has to be that at least he's not going to finish too far behind Ron Hornaday. And he is at least within a very close shot of Hornaday going into the next race. I will say I'm having a lot of fun with this Truck Series season compared to the other series on this game. I think the shorter schedule kind of adds to the sense of urgency to get good finishes, and because of how tight the points battle is between us and Hornaday, we're running out of time to get good finishes. And we had the points lead for the first time for the last 2 races. So we had a 21-point lead, and then we only gained 10 points. We finished second, but Hornaday finished fourth. We both had bonus points in the last race, 5. Nobody had 10, so we only gained 10 points on him. And Hornaday led for the entirety of the first 8 races in the standings after that season opening win. Right here, the World Center of Racing. I think the 101 will pull clear of Bodine. Bodine will pull clear of the 101, though. The bump draft to 110 getting into turns 3 at 4. He didn't want to get to the inside of him like that. Hung on that left rear corner panel, side drafted him. And he nearly cleared him at the start-finish line. And he did clear him, getting into 1 and 2. 17th place. So far off the lead. And really so far away from the next closest truck out in front of these guys. I think the only other thing I can think of strategy-wise is short pitting. And then hoping that we can catch a caution and stay on the lead lap. But even if we go fuel only, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to stay on the lead lap. It's going to be tough. That was a big block. That almost went haywire once again. Still caution-free in this one tonight at Daytona. It's going to be tough. It's a tough decision whether I take tires or not. I mean, we're going to need the grip. But we also need track position. I think we just have to kind of run our own race. Because if we catch a late caution, we know we're only going to have to pit once in this race. So I'm not going to have grip regardless. Really don't even know if the tires would hold up all the way to the end of the race either. Considering they were in the yellow about lap 39. I mean, they're going to be in the red on the tire wear indicator for about the last 20-25 laps of the race. I think we're going to have to take tires. Bodine staying out of the pits this time by once again. So moves back into 18th. We'll go one more lap and then we'll pit the following time by, which will be coming to lap 47. Should be just within the fuel window. to make it to the end of this race. Catching up to Ted Musgrave. Yeah, I knew he was gonna pull up. Just knew he was gonna pull up right there. Yeah, we're definitely got the short pick because we're gonna lose a little bit more time pulling ahead of the pack there. Todd Bodine is coming in. It'll be a 4-tire stop. And no adjustments on this 30 truck. It would have probably been good because we actually settled ourselves in line to just stay behind him, but I knew that Musgrave was going to hold him up again. Went to the outside, stayed in the gas, and kept the momentum and pitted off 4. So we're going to go a lap down. Now we would catch the free pass if we caught a caution before everybody else pits. There go the leaders. So Marvin Sheth moves on by. Todd Bodine down on the bottom of the racetrack trying to get up to speed. Top, what, 6 or 7 trucks maybe he got through. Now everybody else got to get held up. Maybe a little more than that. Tough. This is very, very tough. Should be good on field to make it to the end. Hines good is good. He is. I think he's in the top 10. He's got a fast truck. There's no doubt about it. Fantasy driver pulling up in front of Todd Bodine. Takes so long to get up to speed, though. I don't think he was up to speed when those first 2 trucks passed him. Yeah, I do not want to be 3 wide middle getting into 3. Crowd our way to stay in line. I mean, even on fresher tires, Todd Bodine's having a hard time trying to stay up. I think he's got too much damage. They tried to repair it on pit road, which did lengthen the stop out by about another 2.5 seconds. It was a clean stop nonetheless. Man. Yeah, this is just tough. This is very tough. Sad that even on older tires we can't keep up. I think we damaged the truck too much. I only hit the wall, what, like 3 or 4 times? That's all it took. Honestly, it was slower before David Reagan crunched us in the wall too, so I really only hit the wall like twice. Which was enough to obviously cause enough damage to the truck that slowed it down incredibly, because we were hanging on to the draft before that. But the combination of the damage and our tires getting older, we couldn't hold on. The truck is still on the loose side. Even changing the tires. The damage has definitely affected the handling of this thing. Musgrave gonna hold up some trucks again. Todd Bodine to the top. Pass a few trucks, trying to stay with Timothy Peters in the 4. Don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. He might be a little too far back from the 3 trucks in front of him. Todd's in 33rd right now. We do have trucks on pit road. To see where he cycles through all this, which I don't think is going to be a great cycling, considering he can't really keep up with the draft. He's been in the draft, he just can't really stay with anybody in front of him. Ooh, big block on the backstretch there. Heaters all the way down to the yellow line. Just hoping Hornaday doesn't lead any laps during these green flag pit stops either. It's going to be tough for Marvin Shett to lose this race position he's in. And he could lose it on pit road, though. Guess that's always an option. 108 looking to get by. Oh, he got into the wall. Bodine was not expecting that. He was going to duck in line behind him, but when he got into the wall, Bodine actually ran into the side of him. Because he was just kind of letting the truck drift up in line behind. That was just well mistimed. Todd picking up a couple spots from trucks that just came out of the pits. Well, the first 20 laps were good for us, but that was about it. That was about all she wrote. We still have 48 laps left. A lot of trucks a lap down, by the way, right now. That's a spot on the 119. 37 to the outside, kind of scrubbed the wall a little bit. Slowed his momentum down enough. And with Aaron Crocker behind the 30, I think Bodine's going to be able to keep up with this 137 truck. Needs to hope he does. And he needed to hope he was going to go to the bottom, but he never did. And now Aaron Crocker's going to get there underneath the 30, who had to stay high. And now Bodine scrapes the wall. Crocker getting to the... Oh, we got a lot of smoke up here. Alright, well, no caution. We stay green. Todd's going to lose these two now. Golly. I don't know. I don't know what to do. We're already 31st. I don't think everybody's pitted yet. But trucks get side by side up here. Might be a last-ditch effort for Todd Bodine to try to cling on into the draft. Musgrave is slowing down a truck majorly through 3 and 4. Bodine getting blocked. And another block there from Aaron Crocker as well. Tell you what, these drivers are aggressive. Majorly aggressive. That's 2 more spots down on the bottom. That'll move Bodine to 28th. Tandeming away from him in front. 153 truck finally coming into the pits. He was in the lead pack. I don't know if he's the last one that has to pit or not. I think I just play defense the rest of this race. I mean, the more trucks that get around us... I didn't even want to give that spot up. But they pass us and we just can't keep up with them. But there's no way we'd be able to play defense for 45 laps to the end either. Man, who would have thought this race was going to go caution-free? I mean, it's not impossible that we could still see a caution before the end of the race. Big bump draft here. Bodine to the back of this 137 truck all the way down the back straightaway. And they're getting a major run on the trucks in front of them as a result. Well, that contact slowed them up quite a bit. Cleared him. It wasn't a clean transition. But I think it's going to work. And it's only going to work because the 2 trucks up in front of these 2 are side by side as well, and Bodine now going to push the 98. But as soon as the 98 pulled clear, the 123 moved to the top, and we've got a caution for the first time today. I don't know if Bodine was ahead of Crocker. I really hope he was. Caution is out at Daytona. And, oh my gosh, upside down goes Ted Musgrave, I believe. He might have been on his lid. He was definitely on his side. He might have been on his lid. It was tough to tell if he got completely upside down, but we have a caution for the first time today at Daytona, and it took over half the race to get there. I think we were on the lead lap. I think everybody pitted. I hope everybody... Yeah, we're on the lead lap. Okay. The only one that's a lap down is Musgrave, who was very slow anyway. Green flag back in the air. It is lap 61, so we officially have about 40 laps to go in this race. And we're going to try to get Ted Musgrave to fall back in line. Could hold these trucks up in front of Bodine, allowing Todd to have more of a chance of trying to stay with him. Maybe get some more passes out of it as well. And we'll see if we'll stay green to the end of this race. Was that the last caution? Bodine couldn't keep up with the pack in front of him down the back straightaway like on the start of the race. Todd got loose. Got loose. Barely kept it off Aaron Crocker. That was close. He stayed in the gas all the way through it. Oh, and a big block by the 137 as he causes a wreck. And Bodine trying to completely take him out here. God. Come on, guy. Jesus. That killed the truck. That absolutely killed the truck. No caution either. We stay green. That was stupid on his behalf. Why? Why would you block like that for what, like 25th? 26th? Middle of the pack? Something that would actually happen at Daytona in the Truck Series. You always see the big ones or bigger wrecks happen at the end of these races because the guy's trying to block for 20th. Like, it's never for the lead. Unless it's like the last lap. If it's the last lap, that's the only time they wreck each other, you know, for the win. Usually the wrecks are happening middle of the pack. That was so dumb. Look how far behind. Wow. Well, if we get another yellow, the worst part about it, he's probably the rival. Even though it was his fault. Dang it, man. We needed a caution. We got a caution. We were right there. And then he just blocked us into the wall. I mean, what? What was that? Like, how does that happen? Now we need another yellow. I mean, we have to get another caution to get back into this race. By the way, Marvin Sheth, who was in complete control of this race before that caution came out. And it's gotten a whole heck of a lot harder for him. When 19 just doesn't have enough speed to try to pass us. He might have some damage from that incident too. I mean, I'm at the point now, there's not too many more trucks on the lead lap. If we get a caution, I'm pitting for tires. Oh my gosh, now he hooked us. I did not even move down to block him. He absolutely hooked us. I'm getting a caution. I'm getting a caution. I've had it. I was getting a caution. Whether they liked it or not. Bad enough, I got blocked into the fence. And I almost got turned off turn 4 for 29th. I'm catching a caution. We're putting tires on this thing. As that is our second caution of the race. Top it off on fuel. There's one God bless America. It might have just credited us for leading a lap, even though I didn't actually lead a lap in this race. I will gladly take that. It doesn't feel right, but I'd like to lead a lap legitimately. There's no chance we can get up there. We're only going to have like 30 laps. No chance we can get up there. Especially with how much damage we have. I mean, we had a decent amount of damage that slowed us up before that. I'm hoping, because at the beginning of the race we were able to keep up with a pack. I don't know about now. Is Musgrave out of the race? I don't know where he's at. No, he's still in it. Green flag back in the air. He's behind us. No way he is back on the lead lap. Oh, he might be, actually. Because he was the only truck a lap down. He would have gotten a free pass twice. And then I think he didn't pit yet when his caution came out earlier. Because he was a few laps down, running slower off the pace anyway. I was really hoping he was still going to be on the lead lap. How does he not want to work with us? Are you kidding me? We're not going to go anywhere without working with each other. He doesn't even want to work with me. This is ridiculous. Why? It's not like he's racing for a championship. I am. I would love to get more points. 32nd, exactly where we finished in the first race. I mean, it's just... We weren't even supposed to do this race today. That's the sad part. We were supposed to have a live commentary stream of the Dover Cup race, but no. We had to get rained out. And I'm like, well, I got to get a stream out today. And I decided to do this. I mean, we're going to lose the points lead. Unless Ron Hornaday was one of the drivers that blew an engine, we're going to lose the points lead. And if he is one of the drivers that blew an engine, and with Bobby Hamilton leading, he started points like 200 points back. He's going to be really close now. If he wins, or even just gets a good finish at this point. This truck is killed, by the way. I'm only running like 176 in the middle of the corner. I think before it had damage, I was about 178 to 180. Obviously, Musgrave's not that quick either, but he's quicker than me. Yeah, I mean, it's sad. It sucks that stuff like that happens. That wasn't any of my own doing. I can see why drivers don't like Daytona now. This is the exact reason why NASCAR drivers don't like pack racing at Daytona or Talladega. Because stuff like this happens, you can have a great day, and it's so easy to just have things go bad that have nothing to do with yourself. I don't want to pass him. I want to work with him, though. Is he going to work with me now? Finally. Finally going to work with me. Can we keep up with him, though, is the next question. I will pass him for 31st at the end of this race if we don't catch anybody else. Sad part is he's wanting to run the top, which has kind of been a common problem in this race with a lot of these drivers. They want to run the outside. 27 to go. 12.2 seconds off the lead. Maybe we catch another caution. The sad part is, with the truck as damaged as it is, even if we were to get a third caution, I just do not think that we could actually get up there and stay with the pack. I was really hoping Musgrave was a lap down. We could have had him maybe slow the pack up for us to stay with him on the restart, but hey, he got back on the lead lap. Unbelievable, he has come from 3 laps down in this race to just getting back on the lead lap, which is 2 cautions. 2 cautions, and one of them he caused. That's the sad part. He was involved in one of them, and he still got his lap back. One of them, and then he got the other lap back with the last caution, which was caused by me because 119 threw a bad block and I wrecked him. Because I needed a yellow and it was just us 2. Any positions, 3 points per position outside the top 10 with this points format from the 2006 season. So with this being a season-long points format, we really need to hope for the best here. Oh, that was a push that nearly went wrong. That was a bad time to try to give Musgrave the bump draft. He did a great job keeping it off the wall. He moved to the bottom, though. Maybe it was good that that happened, because now he moved to the bottom. It's like, whoa, I got close to the wall. I better get it down to the bottom. It's probably quicker this way. Wouldn't you think it? Black Ace, thanks for tuning in. What did I miss? You missed a lot. About 77 laps in out of 100. We were very good in the first two, about 20 laps. Just over 20 laps. Went from last to 12th. And then the car started to get a little loose. We got crowded into the wall once, and we had kind of... I hit the wall once before that on my own trying to run the top behind another truck, but that didn't cause a lot of damage. Then I got crowded into the wall. Another time, then David Reagan crowded me into the wall after that, and from that point on, the truck has been kind of ill-handling. It has, as a result, made it slower. And then when we got the caution we needed to try to get back into this race, we were back up to 25th in the pack, and somebody threw a bad block on us and nearly caused the big one in the middle of the tri-oval. We lost a bunch of spots back to 29th. Intentionally spun out the 119 truck to get a yellow because he also got into us, battling for 29th from behind. Getting off of turn 4, so I spun him in the tri-oval, and now we're right here. Right? The car just has a lot of damage. I will say, we're catching up to trucks that are losing the lead pack. So, although it's a loss for a good finish, there are still spots to be made to the end of this race and minimize the amount of points Hornaday will leapfrog us. So there is something to race for here at the very end. They're losing interval time to Bobby Hamilton, who continues to lead this race as he's trying to get his first win of the year. He'd be the 6th different winner in the first 10 races of this truck season. And he's third at points, so this win could go a long way for him, especially with the points leader, Todd Bodine, having issues today. We don't know where Hornaday's at. I have not seen him this whole race. Maybe he blew an engine. Maybe he didn't. Bodine and Hornaday, neither one have led laps. That's sad, though. In both Daytona races on this truck season, I haven't ran in the top 10 for a single lap. Not a single lap I ran in the top 10 in both races. That is wild. What time is it? My grandpa used to say, when I would ask what time it is, that it's half past the monkey's ass and a quarter till his balls. I don't know if that's like a wise tale. I don't think that's like a wise tale. It's just something he used to say all the time. So that's what time it is. Either that or get a watch. That was also the other saying. He didn't say that one as much, though. Goofy old guy. I was just thinking of something else he said, too. Heard that before? Yeah, I used to say that. He also used to say if there's a skeeter on your... if there's a skeeter on your Peter, whack it off. He also used to say that a lot, too. He probably said that at a younger age than I should have known what that meant. I remember hearing that when I was like really, really young. He was, he's something else. Big push there to Musgrave. 137 truck now right in front of Todd Bodine. Bodine leapfrogging Musgrave to work with this 137 now. Hopefully Musgrave still stays close behind Todd Bodine. That'll keep the speed up with these guys. And by the way, Ted Musgrave is still lapped down. That wasn't even a pass for position. So I don't know why he restarted behind everybody else when he was lapped down. Should have been up there with the rest of the field. Because he was the restart before that. This one, on the other hand, he was not. This 137 is a rival, which I figured he would be. Now, remember, this is the truck that had actually turned Todd Bodine, or at least forced him into the wall with a bad block earlier in the race, in the tri-oval, which caused Bodine to get even more damage. It is not going to be an easy pass. He is going to try to take a swing at Todd Bodine. I don't know why he's upset for him blocking me into the wall, but he is. It's the way this game works. Big bump draft getting into turns 3 and 4. They're moving forward, though. Really wish he'd run the bottom. He's running even closer to the wall than what Musgrave was. Didn't think was possible, but he is running just a skosh closer. Another late push getting into the first turn. I was not trying to do that. That's another spot. I mean, let's be honest. He kind of had it coming. I want Musgrave to get in front of me. Because he's not for position. I'll work with a teammate. Come on, Ted. Come on, Ted, get up there. This 137 is going to try and wreck it. Yep. Oh, there's a hit. Okay, we're okay, we're okay. We are okay. Got me a little loose. Now let me work with you, guy. This guy, he's trying to wreck us. Oh, that was a big block. Big block. See, now I'm blocking for 31st. Look, they've turned me into the thing I hated. We're losing him. Man, we were catching that bigger pack, too. I have to stay in front of this guy. He's going to try to wreck me. "15 seconds off the lead. Me versus 1,000 monkeys. Who Who would win? That's just stupid. The monkeys would rip me to shreds. Can't, like, gosh, I don't know what kind it is. Maybe it's, like, all monkeys. But can't they, like, rip, like, the skin off your face or something? Like, don't they have, like, that kind of, like, grip strength? Ridiculous. Orangutan. This is going to be an epic battle for 31st because there are tempers that are on the line here. I should try to turn him to catch another caution, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. If he gets into me one more time, we're going to have problems, though. Yep. I'm still trying to catch it. Come on. Oh, yeah, we're having problems now. Now he did it. He has now messed up. Come on, get up here and catch me again. I knew that was going to happen. We're about to get our third caution of the race. Yeah, get up here. Get up here. No! I missed him. I scraped the wall because I was on the top side and I couldn't hold on to the line. No. Well, he got the last laugh in this one, didn't he? He got the first laugh and the last laugh. I didn't do anything to him this whole race. He blocked me into the wall and he was mad about it. He was mad about me being there. And then he tries to wreck us twice. He didn't wreck us, but he took 31st away from us. That is unbelievable. Have you ever? No, I have once again never. I'm not gonna lie. I've never done this before. I'm half tempted to just stop on the racetrack and get the yellow. I mean, I'm half tempted because we're the last truck on the lead lap anyway. I've got nothing to lose. That's cheap. I understand that. I am frustrated getting pushed around in this race. Didn't even give myself a chance. It's probably not going to work because of how damaged the truck is. And even with fresh tires, I doubt I'm going to be able to get any positions out of it on the restart. There's a chance I could, but more than likely it's not going to happen. Yeah, disrespectful. To go. I mean, Ted Musgrave could bring out a caution, get a couple laps back out of it. Why can't I? His was definitely not as intentional, I will say. Yeah, this is a tough pill to swallow, let me tell you. I think there's a chance we go a lap down before the end of this race. Between all the shenanigans with the 137 truck and losing time that way and just not having any drafting partners anymore too. See the top 20 NASCAR truck big ones? What, like a YouTube video or something? I haven't watched really any compilation videos on YouTube for NASCAR stuff in a while. I remember when I was like first watching NASCAR YouTube, I had watched like a lot of those compilation channels, and I'd kind of seen most of the stuff now, so I just don't go back and rewatch that kind of stuff. I think I'm like too much of a pure racing fan to really go back and watch like crashes and stuff. Like I'll see replays of it, like from a race or whatever, like earlier in the day, a lot of it is mainly just to see like the call of the actual race because I was calling it myself, so kind of curious what that looks like from a broadcasting perspective, but in a commentating perspective. But I think part of it is because I did race growing up, and I think it's like a racer's mentality of, you know, you don't really watch for crashes in any way. Like I would, like in a perfect world, I would love to see caution-free races every week, and people would say that that's probably boring. I'm not saying that I don't want like close racing. I'm just saying like, I mean, wrecks are a part of racing, obviously. They're gonna happen. Mechanical issues happen. Even if everybody drove clean with one another. Especially at like a lower level. You know, that's something I've noticed from like a fan's perspective side of things, or at least sitting in like stands for like local sprint car races and stuff. People don't want to see people get hurt, but if they see a wreck, they talk about it like, oh man, did you see that or whatever? And it's like, oh man, it's tough. Because especially at like a lower level where stuff is, I mean, racing's expensive as it is, but at a lower level, like even locally, if you were to see that, like they're out so much money out of pocket, and they're already, all of them have side jobs, you know, to get them through the week, and then they race for money on the weekend. Looks like somebody else has just blown an engine. This is going to be another position. I hope it's the 137. Oh, it isn't. I was going to say that would have been poetic. Yeah, we don't have the pace we're looking for, but okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, with the with the racing and the wrecks and stuff. But that is like so expensive at a local level. So if you see that, like they're losing so much money out of it compared to what like their, you know, weekly finances are. They're just doing it because, you know, they love to do it, even with it being as expensive as it is. It's so out of pocket. I think somebody else just blew a motor. Made it to pit road. Yeah, they did. So 2 drivers have blown an engine late in the race. That'll get 2 more spots for the 30 truck of Bodine, move them up to 30th. 5 to go for Bobby Hamilton. Sucks that people... I mean, those are the people that really don't understand what goes into racing, though, too. I don't think they realize how expensive it is. They just want to see carnage. I'd say fans loosely. Those people aren't fans. What was the classic race live stream we were watching? Like when the people were throwing like stuff on the racetrack at Talladega. Bob Jenkins said like they're not race fans; they're called race idiots. He said that on the live broadcast, and I agree with him. I mean, they're not race fans; they're race idiots. They just happen to be at a racetrack. Doesn't mean that they're fans. It sucks that it has to be that way. But, I mean, there's fans like that in every sport. I'm not going to, you know, seclude it like it's just racing. Like, there's people out there that, like, watch football for the big collisions. Like, there are a lot of people that do that. Like, that, while it is a part of the game, just like wrecks are a part of racing, that isn't, you know, the sole reason that they're playing football. Just like it's not the reason why race car drivers race. They don't race to wreck. I always tell people, if you want to see wrecks, just go to a demolition derby. You'll see a bunch of wrecks. That's made for, you know, pure carnage. They're not actually racing. It's not a race. That's my whole spiel on it. The reason why we got to talking about that is because of the wrecks that we've seen in this video game race. That's like a pet peeve of mine. That's me growing up in the racing world. That my pet peeve is people going to a race watching for wrecks. Like, that is a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, how do you not see the great racing we've seen up until that point? I specifically remember when I went to Atlanta before it was a super speedway. I'm talking 2019, old Atlanta. And he was like, oh, this racing's boring. And I thought it was a pretty good race up to that point for the most part. It was a good race. It wasn't like it was like one of the best races I've ever seen, but it was a good race. It was just, you know, a good race, and you can really see the car slipping and sliding around that track in person. It was fun for me, but for him, he was like, "This race is boring. We need to see a big wreck to spice things up a little bit." I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And I talked to this guy like beforehand because he was kind of talking to me too, and I should have put him in his place when he said that, but I didn't, because I'm respectful to people in person. And he was talking to me before that he had never been to a track that wasn't Daytona. That usually goes to the Daytona 500 every year because he's from Orlando. So, like, I just automatically seclude them, like, oh, he only ever, like, watches or goes to super speedway racing, so he's used to seeing, you know, a typical big one nearly every race he goes to, so obviously he would be one to say something like that. Like, that's a part of the race. It's not a part of... It's a part of super speedway racing, but it's just because they're so packed together. And even then, it doesn't happen every time, but it happens a lot, obviously. So Bobby Hamilton is pulling away. I think Todd Bodine's going to be able to finish on the lead lap here. He has already received the white flag. It's going to be the first win of the season for Bobby Hamilton. And Todd Bodine will get a lead lap finish. 30th place in case there's a wreck somewhere in the pack behind him. He's going to try to block to stay on the lead lap. The 18's going to get to the inside, but Bodine is going to be able to complete this last lap. So Bobby Hamilton has just won the race. I like how he's still running full speed after winning. The leader has passed us, but we are going to finish this race. I wonder if he's going to slow up at all in the backstretch. Nope, he's still running full speed. It's sad that he won the race already and he's still driving away from us. That's how slow we are with this damage. Limped it home to a 30th place finish here with Todd Bodine. Hans Good finishes second. What a streak he is on. I think I see Ron Hornaday in third. He did not lead any laps today, but a third place finish for Hornaday. He will retake the points lead. And Bodine's going to be we're probably going to be over 100 points back. This was not a race we needed. My two worst finishes on the season, both at Daytona, 32nd and 30th. The only other finish I've had outside the top 10 this year was Milwaukee, where I finished 25th. That is unbelievable. It's the third race this season we haven't led a single lap, and the only other two were the races we finished outside the top 10, which were Milwaukee and Daytona. So pretty much as long as I finish the race, or lead a lap, I've finished in the top 10 every time. Top 8 to be exact. Yeah, that was tough. Hans Good. He is having an incredible streak right now. He didn't win today, but he came from mid-pack to finish where he did. Bobby Hamilton Sr. led 32 laps after starting fourth rather, and won the race. He did not lead the most laps, so I think Marvin Sheth led the most. Hans Good didn't lead a lap, finished second, though. Great run for him. Maybe in the top 5 in points now. And obviously, if the points leader having troubles, he's closed that gap even more. Ron Hornaday, who will be the new points leader, we'll see by how much here in a matter of moments, finishes third today. Parker ends up finishing in fourth. Wilson Eubanks finishes fifth. Zach Van Dyke finishes sixth. Chapman seventh. Irving eighth. Cleveland ninth, and Bill Lester started on the pole, rounds out the top 10. He did not lead a lap, but did get a solid finish. Marvin Sheth led 54 of the 100 laps today. We had 2 cautions, 12 lead changes. And Marvin Sheth probably was in control of the race up until that caution came out with Musgrave wrecking. And lost track position, obviously, on the restart. Couldn't hang on anymore. Our teammate Ted Musgrave finished in 33rd, 6 laps down. Wow, he's a lot of laps down. I'm surprised he wasn't behind or to the inside of the leaders that last restart still, but oh well. It credited us with 1 lap led, even though I did not come close to leading a lap. We only ran as high as 12th today. Man, Daytona, over 8 in the Truck Series at Daytona. Tingen DNF, Simpson DNF, Clausen DNF. We had 2 drivers blow engines on lap 95, Golson and Claiborne DNF. Musgrave had finished the race 6 laps down, actually still finished behind them. because of how many laps down he was. 30 trucks finished on the lead lap, and 5 DNFs total in today's race. NASCAR Vintage 17, thanks for tuning in. Night Dover. Well, I will say that if the track had lights, maybe they'd have a chance to run tonight, but no lights on the track, so there will be no race today. Hence the live stream we just did. Our next truck race is at Watkins Glen for the Thunder Road 188. It's the only road course race of the season, and it will start the second half of the year. Our final 10 races: Watkins Glen, IRP, Homestead, Texas, Michigan, and then we have 250% races at Atlanta and Vegas, Martinsville, California, and then Talladega is going to round out the season. Our Super Speedway program needs to get better because I need to have a massive points lead going into Talladega. Otherwise, it might be ugly. It might be ugly. 56 points back. Is that the math? We should not have got the 5 bonus points I did there. I think it did that with me in the first Daytona race too, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I have 10 extra points on the season. Yeah, 56 points out of first. It's not terrible, but it stinks. We had the points lead for 2 races, gave it up. Bobby Hamilton's 153 back now after the win. Hans Good 206 back in 4th now after finishing 2nd. 2nd or better for Hans Good in 4 of the last 6 races. 3 wins in those last 6. Bill Lester started on the pole, had a top 10. He spit them points. I wouldn't count the top really 6, and maybe even Marvin Chet with the speed he's had out of it. I mean, if we get a DNF from Hornaday and Todd Bodine, it is going to be a crazy close points battle with the top like 6 or 7 trucks. Hornaday's been strong this year. But 3 finishes outside the top 10 now for Bodine through 10 races. 245 laps led on the season. 3 wins, 6 top 5, 7 top 10s in the first 10 races. My average finish was 8.4 coming into the day. It's probably going to be above 10 now, finishing 30th. And that is all we've got for today. Thanks everybody for watching. Live commentary for the Cup race will be tomorrow on the channel. We'll start that off at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going live early, so that way we can get our pre-race predictions out of the way. Means we did not live stream the Cup race today because it was postponed well before I was going to go live. It was postponed probably 2 hours before the original start time of our live stream today. So 11:30 a.m. tomorrow is where our coverage will start. The race will be at noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And as far as the race itself, it will be on Fox Sports 1. So if you're unable to watch it, or maybe you're at work or whatever, school, or trying to listen to the race, you can tune in live on the channel. We'll have full flag-to-flag coverage. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon, and have a good rest of your Sunday.